Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Full Force Newsburst Live special unboxing with me, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80, brought to you by Generals Joe's REBORN.com. And today I thought, I'm going to be doing a Tiger Force figure, so I'm rocking the Mizzou hat and the Tiger Force sweater, which has got the new logo on it, gangster in it. Love that. Anyway, yeah, I've gone full Tiger Force basically. Considering we're looking at Tiger Force. Flint say we're looking at this lad, aren't we? And yeah, we'll be getting into this box. Kitty said. So I hope everyone's doing well this evening. What is it? It's Thursday, isn't it? The week has flown by. Who we got in the chat so far? Legendary Toys, Ed the Straight Edge, Medic 1849. Hello, everyone. Or Medic underscore 1849. Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's get into it. And then I guess I suppose I should do some sort of intro banter. So it's what the usual long day. Bit late jumping on, but I thought I want to do this one. I'm really excited to see this in hand. I'm one of very few that really likes this figure before I've even cracked it out, and you can tell because I'm a big Tiger Force fan. Tiger uppercut. So yes, we are going with Flint today. Now, got loads of content for you on the horizon, tons of it. I know we've kind of had loads, constantly for the last however many. It's been lots of live streams, which is great, right? You enjoying it? I hope so. Let's Talk Classified Leatherneck is coming along nicely. I've just got a few more bits of graphics to put together. Got a nice intel for the Patreon crew. So if you're on the Patreon and you're watching tonight, we'll probably be doing that tomorrow evening. I will send out a sit rep for our patrons to explain when and where that will be very soon, but expect that tomorrow. Now, Jamie Lynn is saying no Tiger Force frame deco. I do actually have one, Jamie Lynn. I don't have it. Do I have it loaded up though, is the question. Oh, I kind of do, but it's not the single frame. It wouldn't make any sense. I think I do have it. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, no, I thought, it's a news burst, so you got your news burst graphics. We've got to keep the news burst unboxing. It's a weird combination, but that's how it is. This is news, right? Oh, also, the beard's going to be coming off tomorrow. Not completely, just I'm going to have a shave it down. It's getting a little bit too Optimus Primal. So, no, who's the one in Transformers with the beard? I can't think of his name now. That's going to bug me. Let me know in the comments. Fake fan of Transformers. I do love Transformers. I just can't remember his bloody name off the top of my head. It's right there, and I can't say it because of brain farts on live streams. Anyway, he's got a beard, the one I'm thinking of. But yes, Flint, let's get stuck into him. All the intros ridiculous now, so let's just get into it. Let's get into it. Awesome. Right, Derek says, wasn't a big fan of it when it was introduced. Flint, I guess. Glad I bought it. It's really good. Well, that's awesome. Daniel says, color your beard Tiger Force colors. That's what I should do. Have the tiger stripe. Kind of like now I'm thinking about it. Have the I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a green stripes or maybe some yellow with some black stripes. What do you think? Yellow? Yeah, let's get yellow, like an orangey yellow and black tiger stripes on it. Let's do that. Alpha Trion, thank you, Jamie Lynn. Yes, thank you very much. It was Alpha Trion I was thinking. I was trying to think of him. Yeah. Anyway, you should roll with the beard and try and grow it longer. I struggle with the long beards, Ray. Like, I don't mind them. I look all right, but like at the same time, it gets a little bit like, I don't know. I don't like it. It's like a lot of upkeep and maintenance. I know it's just hair on your face, but at the same time, like when it gets too big, yeah, I'm not a massive fan. Anyway, we're here for Flint, not for my beard, Kitty said. Just before Christmas, December 2023, Target had a sale on Tiger Force Flint, and I just couldn't pass on buying him for $10. And I'm so glad I did because this figure looks amazing in person. This is good. positive comments so far. Well, a couple Transformers have beards, but if you think Movieverse, then Hound, Jetfire, and Stratosphere. Good points, Robert H. But it was Alpha Trine that I was thinking of. I was thinking more, you know, less of the movie, more of the kind of, you know, the kind of like G1y kind of Sunbow kind of aspect. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Shaving stripes in there. That's a good idea, Jamie Lynn. Yeah, I'll try. Anyway, let's move away from my beard and away and into Flint. This, yeah, who doesn't have a beard at all, does he? Not even a five. No, he's clean shaven, Flint. I have got regular Flint out as well for some comparisons. So there's me thinking ahead for a change. Now let's talk the box first, because oh God, yeah. Sorry, Super Science just made a comment about the real Tiger Force. Yes, now that wasn't right. Funny story about that. It wasn't, no, it was kind of like classified information until much later on. The real Tiger Force is messed up. I mean, go check it out on Wikipedia. But yeah, like from like Vietnam sort of era, maybe before that. But like it's around that time there was like a special team that did some very terrible things, basically. In any case, it was classified information until I was not like super recently, but certainly not when the guys were working on doing a sub team for the GI Joe team. It was based on the colors they painted the blimmin' planes for that specific fighter jet kind of like event that gets put on, where they paint all the jets with that crazy cool vehicle kind of deco, which they effectively like what's the word, which they effectively yoinked for the vehicle decos as well. But yeah, they weren't aware of it. It's been talked about and documented by the guys as well that worked on it, the legends. But yeah, they didn't choose it because of that. That would have been really messed up, and yeah, they just didn't know. Anyway, yes, we have Tiger Force Flint. So let's get stuck into let's get stuck into the box. So we've got the daytime. Well, sort of the daytime. It's turning a little bit darker, getting there in the evening. Of the same, I want to say it's the Yucatan, the world's meanest salad, because that's where Flint is in Arise Repent or Arise when he's chopping through the jungle when they're going to. I think, was that Montezuma's tomb? I think it is. I think it's Montezuma's tomb that they're going to. But yeah, this is what I think this particular background is homaging. We've also got in the background, if you can see it there, it's a bit, it's a bit subtle. You can't really make it out. Just kidding. It's the red sports car that's kind of synonymous with Flint. Of course, we've seen him in his red sports car for what's the word? I almost said Valentine's Day, but I meant Flint's Vacation. Flint's Valentine's Day is what I'm calling it from now on. So yeah, Flint's Vacation or Flint's Holiday. As funny, like this is okay. Let's get into this quickly. So Flint is a traitor. He drives a Viper. I like that. These boxes are really nice, Ray. I agree with you 100%. Pyramid of Duskness, says Ed. I like that as well. So Flint's Holiday, you might think, huh? Yeah, so in the UK, we had these little penguin books. They were kind of like, you guys have had, you've had them, maybe a different type of book. Ladybird we had as well. I think they're Ladybird books I'm thinking of, actually. And they're just these little hard back sort of little books with, like, big text and a couple of pictures in there from like the cartoon, right? So they would kind of revert. They did it for Transformers as well, but they did them for Action Force VHS tapes, and they effectively took screenshots from the cartoon, put them in there, and then did the story, but in like a much more palatable kind of way for kids to read. And one of them obviously was titled Flint's Holiday, and the VHS, funnily enough, was titled Flint's Holiday, but was called Flint's Vacation. It's weird. It's like this weird thing where it's both of those things. It's written Flint's Vacation, but then it also comes up Flint's Holiday at the beginning of the VHS tape in like this, like real digital text on screen. So it's funny, like they wanted to try and change it to make sure it, it kind of worked and we understood what Flint was having. He was having a holiday, because we didn't really utilize the term vacation until much later on. But anyway, I always find that really interesting, even though you guys are probably like, what are you talking about? But yeah, that's why I say Flint's holiday, because that's the VHS version of Flint's vacation. But obviously his car showed up there. And also, I remember this car showing up in, was it like Devil's Due towards the end of maybe America's Elite? You know that? Okay, spoiler alert if you haven't read some of the comics of that era. But Lady J, I don't want to say it, but there's this particular story arc where Lady J, a thing happens to her, and I want to say that his sports car is in that particular storyline, and he gets captured at some point and his car gets pulled out of a ditch, and they're like, where's Flint? We don't know. And they're like pulling the car out of a ditch, so it's like kind of obviously it's been forced off the road and they've kidnapped him. So his car does show up a little bit here and there and everywhere. Yeah, in out, shake it all about. Going to miss those boxes, Medic. Yeah, me too, actually. I do miss them already. Hello, Chris. Hello, everyone, says Armor Magnus. Hello, mate. In the 2000s, Viz Kids would do screenshot books of cartoons from then too, but they made them into comic books. That's cool, Rob H. I actually didn't know that. I'm going to have to check those out. Subtle. I know, isn't it? It's like really subtle there in the background. Look how subtle it is. In the middle of a bloody jungle. Chris, blink twice for HasLab Rattler if it's coming. Not a clue. And I didn't blink. That was no blinking. I have no idea. It's really hard to not blink when someone says don't blink. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Genuinely don't know. So let's get this right. Yeah, so there's your kind of two homages. If I'm stretching it out a little bit, I'm thinking Arise Serpentor Arise in the Yucatan, the world's meanest salad. That's what he says. And of course, Flint's vacay right there with the vehicle. Now, we've also got the Tiger Force logo, which is emblazoned across my chest as well. If you are just joining in, if just turning up and tuning in, I combined the two to save time and then didn't save any time by explaining it all. There's the loadout. Of course, he's got a couple of new items in there, stolen from Recondo, I believe. I think that's Recondo's, isn't it? I know his machete's Recondo. Is that Recondo's rifle as well? Let me know in the chat, because I'm crap at remembering what figures come with what, even though I see it on a regular basis. In fact, I could just look at Recondo down there and find out if that's the same rifle. I'm just going to say yes. And of course, the beautiful artwork, which I believe is Oliver Barrett. That's got Oliver Barrett vibes all over it. You can tell with Oliver, or I'm saying that and it probably won't turn out to be, but you can, he's got this really cool style where if you look at it from a distance, you see all these, like, everything kind of, looks like, shaded in, what have you, and you get really close and he's got these gorgeous, like, kind of like stark lines and kind of like really like interesting ways. It just looks really gorgeous. I love his artwork, genuinely love his artwork. So I might get Oliver back on so we can talk more about his new stuff. But like, again, look at that, absolutely gorgeous. I'm going out on a limb and saying it's Oliver Barrett, but I'm not 100% sure. But again, the style is just yelling at me that that's Oliver. What I really do like as well, I did notice this earlier on, and I think I just forgot, but the fact they put the Tiger Force logo on his beret is a nice touch, and obviously you see it on there too. Really cool. I like it. Absconded from Recondo, yeah. Abrisconded. Abricondoed? I don't know what I'm talking about. That's not a knife. It's a machete, isn't it? Yes, you're right. That ain't a knife. It's a spoon. I see you've played knifey spoony before. Right. Again, we've got the QR code to know buggers where. Scan it. See where it takes you. Hasbro G.I. Joe page, basically, but not the website, which has gone so missing that I'm going to ask about it next time I speak to the team. Again, we've got the tiniest attributes in the world, although they come through a bit clearer on the light bright blue, don't they? But we obviously see them a little bit bigger on this side. So he's got stars, he's got ammo, he's got the Krull thing. Do you know what Krull is? Probably not. I don't know. You might do. And he's good at chess. That's good. Just kidding. I don't know because I haven't checked, but I'm guessing tactician. Is the chess one tactician? I think it is. Tactics. He is 6'3" or 6.3 inches. I think they do it like that. I think the 6 inches is 6 feet, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I like saying that anyway. He's a good height, isn't he? There's Flint with all his amazing deco, all of his gear, and the call outs are his backpack sheath holster and his secondary. Weird that I probably would have called out the beret and the Tiger Force logo beret. And what else could you call out though? It's one of those things, isn't it? The figure's really good, but where are the kind of specific call outs? I kind of feel like they've got them. But I definitely would have put, instead of that one, I would have had the beret with the Tiger Force logo in it, because I think that's more interesting and kind of needs like a zoom in a little bit, I would say. Hello, Jeremy. Stygian Theory 360 says 60th Action Sailor is bloomin' amazing sauce. Yeah, I cannot wait to get that one in hand. Just dug out my entire G.I. Joe Creo collection to display near my classified figures, says Flaffle 57. That sounds great. Yeah, the Creo line was actually like a low-key banger, in my opinion. I really enjoyed some of the stuff they did for the Creo line. Wish it could have gone on a little longer. Wish we could have got it kind of instead of those really cheap kind of building block ones that were. I still don't. Anyway, it's just funny when you see some of the people that got them and they're like, yeah, it only came with 3 pieces and it's missing most of the other figures. Like, what's the point? Anyway, so yeah, Flint. There's the box. We've seen it. Let's get into it. Chris, belch loudly if classified Pythona is coming in 2024. No, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I know I belched. It wasn't that loud though, so that doesn't really count, does it? But I just genuinely don't know. The things I do know, you wouldn't be able to ask the question because you don't know what to ask, if you know what I mean. But yeah, in terms of Pythona, I would imagine so, because Nemesis Immortal's coming and it would just make sense. But who knows? Flint never struck me as that tall. I have to agree, Jamie Lynn. Maybe I'm just getting the scale incorrect, but I just, for some reason, I assume that 6 inches equals 6 feet tall. Anyway, but 6.3 inch. It's just to tell you how tall he is in actual inches, which is actually a nice little addition there. The amount of times I've had that question for certain things, like especially when we post stuff on the page, it's like, what scale is this? What size is this? It's like the same scale that it's always been. I don't know, 6 inches if it's a 6 inch figure, 4 inches if it's a 4 inch figure. If it's slightly smaller than that, I don't know the size. Leader, light weapons, rotary pilot, tactics. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott. I'd one more time just for the cheap seats there. That is leader, light weapons. I've lost it. Rotary pilot. Interesting. And tactics. I got tactics right, didn't I? Let's face it. Krull I didn't get right, but tactics I did. I want to print those icons from the website, and every time I get a new figure, look at their specific roles. Same. Why have I not done that yet? Flint, Falcon needs a new figure ASAP, of course. He just needs a facelift, says Ed. Nah, he needs a head lift, basically. I got a good bit of the Transformers Creo. Oh, cool, Robert. Yeah, I don't think I saw it, but I never got any of it. But it looked really good. Ruffle confirmed. Is that a new hat? No, I've had this for donkey's years. I've had this for tiger's years. I'm probably nuts for thinking this, but Classified Fridge needs a figure also. You're not nuts. He does. Right, here we go. Flint. Tricked you. It's the weapons crate. It's got Flint written on it. I would think, I know it's got his number 89, so you know specifically what Flint, but I'd have thought they'd have, although maybe the first one doesn't, no, the first one doesn't have he doesn't have a weapons thing, so it's fine. Crisps and instructions for legal, not for anything important. I mean, it is important, but not, you know what I'm talking about. Crisp packet, and if you shine light through it, you can actually see. Actually, I can see, but you can't. But you can see through it, basically. so I can see before I lose something. Here we go. I want to take his face off. Like it. Facelift like the Nick Cage movie. Yeah, exactly. You're not nuts, Stygian. I want a fridge figure, and not just like, a big white door opening thing to put all your cold stuff in. No, I want a William Refrigerator Perry figure. I'm a Bears fan at the end of the day, and at the beginning of the day. So I would love that. I'd like a Walter Payton. I'd love to see Walter Payton join the Joes. Walter Payton was my favorite player of all time in the NFL. My favorite ever. Right, we have got, and I will not have any other conversation. Like, no one is better than Walter Payton for me as a running back. And yes, there have been great running backs, but Walter Payton was just the sweetness. I love him. So here is Recondo's rifle. A little bit of a droop at the end there. You can just about see that. But I think that's kind of par for the course with a lot of these weapons still. It's straight that way, though, which is nice. It's just a little droopy at the end. And of course, it's got the kind of straps on it. Just basically exactly the same as Recondo's rifle there, basically, isn't it? Is it slightly different color, maybe? It looks like it might even be the same color, just black with the straps. Of course, we've got the magazine as well. Nice one. That's going to pop in like so. And then we've got his magazine locked in there. Lovely stuff. It's completed. Completed it. For G.I. Joe Creo, we've got the tactical battle platform and the Vamp versus the Cobra robot. They were great. The tactical battle platform was fun. I love the tactical battle platform in general. It's one of my favorite ever play sets. It's just so intricately detailed. Like, it's not massive, but it's just so good. Like, I just, if they made if they redid that for the 4-inch line and did a HasLab for it, I'd have been all over it. Like, that would have been great. Just imagine this, right? 4-inch, they're doing this, they did Sky Striker, fair enough, okay, whatever. But a tactical battle platform for a 4-inch HasLab that would be on like a couple of multi-levels. So you'd have underneath, around the back, there'd be like a submarine port almost. So it'd be one of those things where the legs would raise up and basically reveal this second section underneath, which would, so you'd make it like a proper oil rig where there was like an area at the bottom where you could like almost, like dock, Kitty said, and then get out of like the shark or whatever you're in, or whatever, like the devilfish, onto a platform, and then go up to the next level, which is the level that we all know and love, where the bridge and the section for the computers, maybe put a covering over that as well, in the rain and the water, electrical equipment. Come on, guys. And then all that section in the court. I mean, it would be amazing. And then that second level, you could have your canteen and your sleeping areas and stuff like that, and make it like a proper cool tactical battle platform. It would be amazing. I think that would be awesome, and it would be doable, and it would be big. You could make it big and a bit HasLab-y, but it would just be it would be great. Anyway, maybe we get a Retro Falcon with new face. I friggin' hope so, or a Night Force one, possibly. Fridge should come with a fridge backpack. Brilliant. Just found out they were building a brand new Ross in my city. Nice. You're going to get all of the figures from there. They got pills for that, Droop. Yeah, I don't think they've got Viagra for plastic weapons though. Walter was the best running back. It's a shame he didn't get a Super Bowl touchdown. That's a good point, actually. I never really thought about it like that. I mean, that Super Bowl was the reason I'm a Bears fan. And I got a little Walter Payton jersey when I was a little lad, so I was very excited. They could just do it in classified. I need a new kitchen table anyways. I like that thought, Nictimus Prime. Kev Jewel 100, I'd buy that. So would I. Viper Scout says it's pretty crazy how many Bears are getting into the Hall of Fame this year. It is. Sorry, we're getting a bit sportsy, isn't it? It's getting a bit sports ball. Anyway, here's the shotgun that everyone seems to really hate, but I love this thing. And it's not one of those things where I love what everyone hates. That's not the case. you know, we've talked about Falcon's head sculpt. There are other, you know, other stuff that here and there that I'm not like totally blown away by, but I really like this design. I think it's fun, interesting, a bit futuristic. And then of course, yeah, you've got the little kind of thing where it cocks down there. Interesting. And you can load her up and lock and load, and away you go. And the little shells on the back there. I don't know. I'm really into it. I really like it. I'm into that. Sue me. Right. He also comes with his very cool little Nerf blaster, which I'm still really surprised we didn't get G.I. Joe Nerf crossover of a proper. I mean, what a missed opportunity that was. What a missed opportunity that was. We've got the machete, which is really cool as well. I do like this this design. That ain't a knife. And of course, this is a really cute little uh, beret with the Tiger Force logo on it. I'm a fan of the Tiger Force logo, the new one. I like the American college football vibe. Like it's like the school logo. I mean, you know, it's not far away from what's on my hat, which is effectively, yeah, it's University of Missouri in there. But yeah, there's a decent close up of it. Ooh. Anyway, you get the idea. Nice one. Ed says, I don't hate the plasma shotgun. Yeah, neither do I. Neither do I. Chris, classified psych out. Yes, no. Haven't heard anything about that, but I would be all over it. For one thing, the blooming European Tiger Force psych out, please and thank you. So yeah, if we could get regular psych out, and then we've got Night Force psych out opportunities there as well. So psych out's one of those ones they have to do because one, it would be an absolute banger at classified scale, and two, and B, it would be the opportunity to do multiple repaints, which they absolutely adore doing for obvious reasons. I adore them doing it. I like to see a Haslab of the Cobra submarine, a lot like the mothership, but not as big. Shane, that's a good shout. The submarine was awesome, and it does pop up in a few of the episodes I mentioned before. Flint's Vacation, it comes up that submarine, and Arise, Serpentor Arise. It pops up in like France, doesn't it? In the canal when they're attacking, and it kind of pulls up and then just lets all those like all the stuns and the yeah, that stuff out. Anyway, we should really look at Flint, shouldn't we? Why am I taking so long to do this? So I'm just trying to find out where we are. Skid mark, psych out, and sightline in classified, please, Lenny. Says Stygian. Yeah, all good shouts. Desert Fox, please. For skid and get Treadmark. Call him Treadmark, it's fine. That's the UK version name of him. Skid marks were like pants when you've got poo in your pants, basically. I saw Transformers nerd guns that were done like the cancelled Joe Blaster. Nerf guns, even, sorry, Nick Smith. Yeah, yeah. That was a bit of a that was a real miss, in my opinion. I was excited at the time, not from the design point of view, but from the fact that Nerf and Joe were doing a crossover. And I thought, oh, good. That means that, you know, that's the start. And then we get into the, you know, the actual, you know, original Nerf designs to go in. And the fact that we had Nerf style weapons in all of the figures at the time, what a missed opportunity to do some cross marketing stuff, guys. I don't know. And then you know, the Sunbow laser blaster, aka Snowjob's XMLR, whatever you want to call it, and then you've got the Flint's pistol, or the Sunbow pistol, which Flint often used as well. Like just absolute home runs. If Nerf had gone, yeah, let's do a G.I. Joe thing, nothing. And I'm so upset about that because I love Nerf. Like Nerf is one of my favorite things, and it needs G.I. Joe in its life properly. I really wish they kept that pistol as standard across all the Joes. I just like it being generalist. Yeah, it's same, Scott. I like that pistol that I just showed earlier. Right. Oh, and yeah, like a Nerf like compound bow for Storm Shadow. How dope would that be? Snake Eyes like Nerf sword, because they do all that stuff as well, like, you know, safe swords and things like that. Scarlet's crossbow. I mean, come on, this is easy blooming home runs for me anyway. Anywho's and Susan. It's Flint time. It's not too bad. He's alert. He's looking awake, which is good. I love it when their heads are completely over, like they've been asleep in their box the entire time. Right, we've got the my favorite. His like holster is poking through as well. I didn't know that was going to be the case. That's interesting. That's interesting. Is it like I don't recall it being attached. Obviously, it must be. Am I an idiot? Yeah, I am. I've completely forgot that was actually permanently attached to his secondary. Anyway, I'm twirling off the plastic ties, the cardboard or the paper ties, which I much prefer. And it's really easy. It still feels quite secure. So I don't know. I don't like the plastic ones. They're just, I feel like I'm going to break something when I pull them off. Kitty said. Right. Last one, just twirling it. And it's just a twirl as well. That's the other beauty part. It's not like they've tied a knot in it, which they used to do back in the day, which used to drive me mad. Not on the classified figures, but on other toys. There are other toys available, apparently. I just don't care. I'm just kidding. I care. You know I care. Right, so now I've got to somehow find a way to get his backpack out of this box. Oh my goodness. This is okay. This is new. How did you guys do it? Because it doesn't come off his backpack, does it? Off his back. Am I going to have to like permanently disfigure this box? Not really. I just pushed it through. Okay, so you just have to be a little bit like, you know, a little, not brutal, but you just have to give it some to push it through the other side. But unfortunately, it causes a huge gash in the artwork, Kitty said. But again, really awesome artwork, and I love it. And it just looks like he's been shot in the neck, doesn't it? That's quite dark. Anyway, I'll put that to the side, and here we have John Hamm. I mean Flint. He does have a little bit of a John Hamm vibe. I'm not going to lie, and I think it's the haircut. It's pretty cool. I do love Flint's hair. It's really sweet. Okay, straight out of the box. I'm loving it. Absolute McDonald's, loving it. There he is. He's got the. Let's do this. Let's do this a bit so you can. Yeah, we go. You can see some nice details on the head sculpt. Lovely hair, kind of like the way it's done, kind of phasing out towards the bottom there, so it looks like it's like more shaved. This is a stunning haircut. I love it. Going on, it's really detailed. I really like it. If only they'd had this as an option on the first wave of what's it called, selfie series, then my figure wouldn't look so ridiculous with a silly haircut that doesn't make any sense. And this was really nice, and I love the paint on the face as well. A lot of people saying they need like another stripe on the other side. I don't know. I quite like it. I think that's really cool. Yeah, I'm down. I like it across the eyes. And again, we've got the kind of brown and tiger stripe shirt underneath the secondary, the green and black secondary there, which again, lots of detail on that secondary. I really do like this as an upgrade to Flint's kind of design. And then of course the holster permanently affixed onto the secondary on the back. We've got the green. Oh, that's cool. We got the watch as well. I forgot about the watch. That's really nice. Little pouch as well, and again, lots of little deco touches here that, again, you think sometimes you think they might go overboard with it, but it's nice that we've got the buckles decoed. We've got those two, like, whatever they are, like grenades or whatever they are on the side there. We've got those in kind of like a different color. All the shells have got, one side they've got the gold, and on the other side they're just, the shell color, that kind of gray color that's the same as the armor. I love it. Loving this one. I'm going way more detail than I usually do with these figures, aren't I? I'm like really getting into it with this one because I really love Flint. Then we've got the a holster, of course. Again, lots of nice detailing on that. And look at, there's so much texture on these too. Like the pants are cool, the pockets on the back, and I love that Recondo machete sheath as well. Such a cool secondary on the thigh, and again, nice and chunky, gives the figure a nice little kind of like additional bit of interest visually. And of course we have more deco hits. Again, the knee pads, different colors, they match the shin guards, but then you swing it around the back and you've got loads of detail going on, like the green straps, the boots underneath, etc., and then the green on the bottom of the boots as well, which is again another nice touch. Like I'm really into this figure. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Interesting. I was just about to say, interesting. They haven't put a Tiger Force logo on his shoulders or anything on his arms, but it's because they've got one on his beret. Let's pop his beret on, because that is, then you've completed Flint, then haven't you? Basically, there. Yeah. Oh, have I put it on properly? Let me just double. Yeah, it's on. Yeah, lovely stuff. And there we have Flint with his Tiger Force beret. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, it looks great. Absolutely brilliant. I'm gonna do a quick comparison between the two. Again, the original, has the, you can't really see the scar on the new one. I mean, you can, but because of the face paint. So I'm looking at it just to make then get it in my brain to then talk to you about it. So you can see the scar on this one a lot clearer over his eye, but on this one, like it just kind of gets, it gets lost a little bit in translation. If I do that, you'll see the scar a lot clearer over that eye. Very Zaymot. Oh yeah. And then obviously with this one, you see it's there, but it's much fainter. So that's interesting. Just doing a comparison. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm saying I'm just showing you the differences. The greens are different greens, different shades. It's definitely kind of more of a. It's definitely more of like a limey green. I think a limey. On this one, there's like a much, this one's a much deeper kind of, almost like British racing green almost. Still got the Joe Pros on there, which is a funny little name. I'm so glad that kind of took off. Why the reason it took off is because I felt like everyone thought of it at the same time. It's like a GI Joe Pro, GoPro. It kind of like it made sense, and I think that's why it kind of stuck very, very for so long. Now the holsters on the back are different though, in that on this figure it takes the black color on his shirt, and on this figure it takes the kind of the lime green color of the main part color of the secondary, which is quite interesting there, I think. Again, the pants are not far off. Again, there are slightly different shades of green, and then of course you've got camo on regular Flint, and they're plain on Tiger Force Flint, which is interesting too. And then of course the boots. Regular Flint has the brown, and Tiger Force Flint has the grey. And they've gone all out on this one to paint the straps different too, which they didn't on this one. They just kind of kept them kind of almost like a leather strap, which is totally fine. Anyway, yeah, Lenny endorsing the Joe Pro name helped big time, Scott. He said that so many times on live events. In fact, I'm pretty sure he said it on the last live event as well, which was kind of interesting. Anyway, yeah, loving this. Let's gear him up. We're going to gear him up. So the machete is going to go in his little machete sheath there, like so. So that's nice. That's nice and in there. Lovely stuff. We're going to pop his pistol in his holster on his right thigh. Push that in there like so. Lovely stuff. And then we've got a couple of rifles, Hatwee. Now, I'll probably put his shotgun in the back here, and I'm going to put it in like so. I just assume it goes like the wider end is where it enters, like maybe like that. I don't know how you guys do it, but how's that feel? Does that feel okay, or do you guys do it the other way around? But I feel like it would go in the fat end, and then the thinner end would stick out the thin end, if that made sense. That's just how I see it, but I don't know, you guys might have a different idea or vibe, and that's totally cool. Let me know how you do it in the comments. Slaughter's Marauders green type vibes, Viper Scout. Yes, absolutely. Retro Flint, when? Oh, it's got to be soon, Scott. Like, again, that isn't one that's that we're aware of, but I think there's a high likelihood that we would see a different version of Flint down the road. I've got him with the Recondo rifle in hand. So he is all geared up now. Again, he's not a figure that is like blessed with a ton of accessories, but he still does have a decent amount. If you think about it, the removable beret, 2 rifles, a pistol, and a knife, not bad. But like, it's not like he has loads of weird, interesting accessories or like a ton of ninja things and so on and so forth. Not that Viper really has a lot. She has what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well. They both have 5 accessories, and it kind of makes sense for like a single carded Target exclusive sort of release, doesn't it? To have like a 5 count, 2 sort of headgear pieces, 2 rifles, 2 swords, madam, um, pistol and knife, pistol and machete over here, bow and quiver over here. Brilliant stuff. I love them. I love these as little Target exclusives. And this Flint is just great. Again, I know I'm sort of in the minority. I love this Flint design. I love this Flint figure, and I'm absolutely adore this Tiger Force one. I knew I was going to love it. There was going to have to be something very bad that happened for me to not want to have children with this. Do you know what I'm saying? I really like this figure, and yeah, I'm really happy to finally bust him out of his little box. There you go. There, me Flints. Awesome stuff. Yeah. So retro. Let's talk. Let's talk while I hold Flint in the air as I do in these unboxings. Let's get through some of these comments. I've missed a lot here. Sorry. A Nerf Sunbow rifle would have been great, or a Baroness rifle. Agreed. Agreed. We need airtight, says KevJewel100. We really do. And I think now that we've got the mole route, I think we've got some parts of usage there where they can squeeze out some new things to go on it. But effectively, I think the figure is sort of, there. And then, as well as airtight, I think our Puro, aka Tiger Force airtight, would be freaking awesome. I like the logo on Tripwire's robot. So do I, Shane. So do I. And you can call it me or McLeod. Stygian, he sure would be, Chris. Amen. What did I say then? We do need airtight. Great shout to Stygian. Yep. Hope we see the Ore Striker soon. Soda, that is a very good point, actually. For all of the vehicles that are being touted and thrown about and, rumored, what have you, or like, leaked, the Ore Striker, why is that not like top billing for classified? Because that is perfect for classified retail, isn't it? Like it's a mid-sized vehicle. It's a big bugger, sort of, for 6-inch. But when you think about what an Ore Striker is, it's most like 95% air when you consider the roll bar, the cage. So yeah, I think it's perfect, Soda, and I'm with you. I want an Ore Striker, not just an Ore Striker, but then do all of the different flavors, please and thank you. We started Tiger Force with 3 Joes that we hadn't gotten in the main line. It's time we got another round of new Joes from Target. Yeah, you're right. Was it Outback, Recondo, Bazooka? And then they got the pre-paints, basically, weren't they? In that sense. So yeah, we need a couple of new characters that start life as Tiger Force figures and then become, yeah, exactly. I agree with that. Although they might be avoiding that now after the kind of odd backlash to, Recondo taking so long to come out, which it still perplexes me that people didn't just assume we were getting it. Like, obviously. Tiger Force hit and run confirmed. Oh, Jeremy, please and thank you. Flint feels like so long ago now. Oh, James, it was like was it the first end of the first year or the beginning of the second year? I want to say Flint was early. Flint and Jay, or no, maybe they were in the second year, but like it was early in the line still. They were probably the second year though, weren't they? 2021. I'd have to look that up, but I can't remember. They need to keep that art on the new packaging. They are, aren't they? Have we got art on the side? I think the side of the box has the artwork still. I just yanked it, Flint's holster. I did just yank it, Nictomus. Kitty said, I like the orange black color scheme versus green yellow stripe color scheme. Not sure why they had two different schemes. For Flint, Retro Flint, when? Again, I've already done that one. I don't know. But you feel like that he's up for that at some point. Those greens on his pants and holsters give me Slaughter's Marauders. We've done that one. Sorry, Viper. Yes, they do have that. That green is definitely Slaughter's Marauders vibe. I love all the Tiger Force figures. Give me more, says Mike. Oh, Matt. How you doing, bud? Yes, same. Please and thank you. More, more, more. Was always drawn more to Flint than Duke, to be honest. Same, Scott. I was always a Flint fan. But again, the reason for that being from the UK, Flint and Jay were the head of Action Force operations. It was kind of okay. So there's an interesting thing that I always miss because I never saw it when I was a kid. But in a previous, it was either in a comic or it was promoting the upcoming Action Force line and comic and all that kind of stuff, right? When they were doing the rebrand, there was this whole thing that it's like I say, it's like a promotional advert that says GI Joe is coming to the UK and is going to be called like Action Force for international operations, right? So it's kind of like their whole point was to kind of like we know that GI Joe exists, we know GI Joe exists, but we kind of didn't necessarily. Not everyone, but that's we are touting it as going to be it's like Action Forces, the international operations for GI Joe. So that it was always planned to be that way, which is really interesting because if you miss the context of that, you go into the comics with this kind of like very confused vibe. Um, but yeah, that's I lent into Flint because Flint and Jay were the kind of they headed up Joe field operations. They were like the Duke and Scarlet basically of the Action Force weeklies. But funnily enough, Scarlet was in it as well. Scarlet and Snake Eyes were often paired together. I like Flint more in Sunbow. Duke just seemed perfect, and Flint had flaws, seemed more human. True on that one, Viper, but I wouldn't say. I mean, yeah, I get that. He didn't. I'm trying to think of like like in terms of flaws from the Sunbow cartoon. But yeah, I do agree. I think Flint is definitely more grounded. Duke is almost a superhero. Not that and again, I have nothing against Duke, by the way. Duke's dope. I love that character. I love the figures that we've got. I love his history throughout the brand as well. Some cracking toys. Um, and yeah, I get it. I get why he's kind of like that. But yeah, he does feel like that. Yeah, it's like almost like Captain America to I would say Tony Stark, but I don't know. That's slightly. It's a different personality, obviously, but and Flint isn't like he's not like a genius in that sense, but he's. I don't even know how to put it. Maybe I don't know, but Duke does have that Captain America vibe. I think. What are we saying? I think Jay may have something to say about that. Depends what I say. Oh, having children with him, yeah. I got TF Flint for 750. I have no complaints. That is great, Todd. What an amazing. Where did you find that? What would be fun is a retro Flint with proper sleeves, a new secondary, and the Sunbow color scheme. Yes, Ed. Yes. I like the thought of that. Well, yeah, the new secondary just to make it the shells. Yeah, that would be great. Blowtorch is needed too. I agree, Eduardo. He can't be too far away, can he? Blowtorch again. I would put Blowtorch in there with airtight dial tone, mainframe, lifeline, etc., etc. That level of figure that is like a banger that is still, you're still waiting for it in the classified series. Do you think we will get original crew Colonel Hawk with a Joe missile system repaint of SMS? It's a good shout, Chris. I don't know if we will for sure, but that sounds to me like a very like a highly possible option. I'm sure we're going to get a Joe mobile missile system because, of course, we will. Just like I'm sure we'll get a Cobra Stinger and a probably a Tiger Sting at some point. But I definitely agree. Like, I think they're going to repaint some of the vehicles like that. And yeah, I totally. Um, they did the crossover or striker. Yes, they did. I'm thinking about. I'm just thinking about it from a classified point of view. I mean, there is an almost 6-inch scale or striker in the Flame Toys department, isn't it? The model kit one. I'm not making you cry, Diana. I love Duke. You know I love Duke. Um, um, since a bridge layer is unlikely, what about Toll Booth with Checkpoint Alpha? Sorry for the random thought. That's not a random thought. That's an amazing thought, Viper. I adore Checkpoint Alpha, but I see Checkpoint Alpha coming with like a Law and Order, or maybe like if we get Law and Order, maybe like a repaint of them, like a Sonic Fighters, maybe because Law did get a Sonic Fighters repaint, didn't he? Not Order, but you could throw Order in there as well, just for S's and giggles. But like, how good would that be? It would. I mean, they suit the checkpoint for me because it's like, oh, it's a checkpoint, and there's this like almost a sniffer dog. Do you know what I mean? And I know that's grossly under selling the wonderful Order as just a sniffer. He's not just a sniffer dog. You could argue he's not. He's he just wants to play, and he'll bring the bomb to you, and you'll have to throw it into the air, and it'll explode. But yeah, no, big time. I've got to say. I think a checkpoint alpha in general will be superb. Bridge layer with it though, I think you're more likely going to get like toll. Sorry, not bridge layer. Toll booth. Toll booth is. I like the idea because of what Toll booth's name conjures up. But in terms of what his actual specialty is, laying bridges on a huge blooming bridge layer, I don't know about checkpoint alpha being the thing for him. But I like the idea of what I like where your brain is. I like where your mind is going with Toll Booth and the Checkpoint Alpha. It's quite genius. But yeah, I see that more as like a your military police, your your mutton junkyards, your law. I know mutton junkyard isn't military police, but you know what I'm saying. Your mutton junkyards, your law and orders, and if they do if they do a checkpoint alpha, if they don't take promotional images with like a Law and Order, a Mutton Junkyard, what have you, then I quit. I think a bridge layer could be possible, Todd. I agree with that too. Which would be great, wouldn't it? Maybe a bridge layer as a HasLab, like an actual electronic working one. I think that would be fun. I'm not sure if like people would go nuts for it, but just think how freaking awesome that. Have you seen that custom one that guy did, where he shows it actually works like it's like a remote control one, 6-inch kind of scale, and he crosses like two tables in a kitchen with it. It's freaking amazing, and you see it puts the bridge down, goes over it, picks it back up, puts on top, and it's just like that's sweet. So yeah, if they could do something like that for the HasLab, I think that would be amazing enough, with that, and then obviously all of your tiers and everything with your figures. But how good would that be as a vehicle? Because it would be like some sort of like what's the company that Robocen? It would almost be like that level, wouldn't it? I think it would be phenomenal, phenomenal, honestly. Just got here. Did I miss the announcement for Night Viper? No, FC Viper, you didn't. Don't make me cry. I've already read that one. Sorry, Diana. I didn't. If you did, I'm sorry. You missed the scoop and there's no scoop announcement. Todd, stop stirring stuff. Um, hey, Chris didn't read his green sheet. Man of action. Didn't you read? Oh, right. Sorry. I see what you're saying. You're doing the quotes. Didn't you read his? I'm sorry. It's like literally episode 1. I'm Jamie Lynn. I get it. Brilliant quotes. I love it. Love it. I would love a Danger at the Docks 2-pack with a little boat. Oh, Daniel. Oh, Daniel, good point. Because obviously we've got a classic repaint, well, classic, a more modern repaint of Flint as an example there, haven't we? In that kind of digital grey and black sort of camo. Was it blue in there as well? Anyway, it's a cool little Flint repaint as well. And yeah, you've got the boat and the kind of like the vamp or stinger. I can't remember which one was the good guy, which one. Anyway, it's a cool set. The Danger at the Dock set is wicked. We've got all the parts for Colonel Hawk now, says Scott. We have, yeah, like to do a proper original G1. That's for Robert H only. No, no, I know there's a few Transformers fans in here. I'm only joking. It's only that Robert mentions Transformers a lot more. Local Target cleared out the Tiger Force Flints for 750. Not sure if that was nationwide. Damn, Todd, I never saw that. But anyway, it's a shame because I couldn't find him for love nor money anywhere. But then, like, is it the area? Is it more competitive where I am? Maybe. I mean, literally outside the doors of Hasbro, pretty much. Do we think Flint still has the power to change his body temperate, like his version 4 file card said? I have got to admit, Robert H, I don't recall reading his version 4 file card. You are out nerding me dramatically there. And now I want to read it to see what it says, just to answer your question. Well, it's not really a question, is it? It's just you're flexing, but I like it. Again, once again, I like that. And again, it's giving me information that I didn't know before. So let's go Yojo Flint V4, and I'm gonna see what it says. I like this. I like your knowledge on it's the Desert Paratrooper one for a start. Wicked. The Battle Core card. I don't remember what it says, so let's have a read. I'm going to read the version 4 Flint card because Robert H has just made me. Jumping out of a plane at 40,000 feet is easy. Landing in desert sand is the hard part. Is it? A graduate of Special Forces School, as well as the Flight Warrant Officers School, and a former Rhodes Scholar, Flint enjoys a well-known and well-deserved reputation as an expert in desert battle tactics and training, but he is especially renowned for being a top-notch paratrooper, successfully completing difficult missions behind enemy lines after skydiving with a Halo, high-altitude low opening, parachute from heights of 40,000 feet. He's a tough, snake-eating, no-guff-talking commando who has the unique ability to lower his body temperature and adjust to the boiling hot rays of the desert sun. Because he's a desert paratrooper, that makes a lot of sense now. And once again, thank you for making me read that file card, Robert H, because obviously that's not, as much as I want to go through all the file cards and read them again, I do. I think if only there was some sort of book that had them all compiled. I'm just having a joke because Carson's book is right next to me. But is this a file card or a Tinder profile, says Scott? Well, it's up to you, innit, really? A snake eating, though. Hardcore. But thank you, Robert H, because again, like I said, I love the flex, but at the same time, I like the fact that you're then getting me to learn even more. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope we get Law and Order, says Just Under Anderson. He finds the bombs, I drive the car. We tried it the other way, but it didn't work. Brilliant. Armadillo with Thunder or Steeler also can hit retail. Yeah, I could see that. Soda, Armada, sorry, Armada. The Armadillo, I could see them doing because it's a small vehicle, makes sense. And yeah, with Thunder or Steel, I think I would go Thunder because we had that. Was it Sergeant Thunderblast version in the kind of like modern 4-inch, but like Steeler, I'd like to save because I think we could see some sort of Mobat in like a HasLab in the future. I could see them holding that one back because of the iconography. Again, I don't know, but this is from again just kind of thinking it through, thinking the overall, almost putting the Hasbro hat on and trying to think what they would do with that. So I think they would probably hold Steeler for that in the future. Mutt has a huge silver police badge on his vest. Are you sure he's not an MP? I'm not sure, Justin, the Anderson. Actually, it's a good point. I'm not saying he is or he isn't. I was preempting people saying, because I was talking about MPs more or less in the same breath as I was discussing Law and Order, but I mentioned Mutton Junkyard because of not because of the MP thing, but because of the appropriate connection to like a checkpoint is what I was getting at. But yes, it was just the way my mind was working and my mouth wasn't really keeping up with it. But I'll go with it. I mean, he's kind of got a sheriff's badge, hasn't he? At the end of the day, he's more like your canine unit, though, isn't he? That's what it feels like. He's more like your kind of police canine, and MP. Sorry, and Law and Order are more like your military police. I know that makes no sense, but that's how I see it. Mutton Junkyard are almost like civilian canine unit, in my opinion. They talked about the size issues with Checkpoint Alpha, height on shelf, etc., but they are thinking about it. Interesting. That's good to know. Hello, Toll Booth, Nightclub Force. Why not? Has anyone said the devilfish yet? I did actually say the devilfish already today, but not in the classified scenario. I was talking about devilfish being able to dock into a tactical battle platform for 4-inch HasLab. That was just my silly little thing that I wanted to. I want if, if I'm ever going to get 4-inch stuff as a HasLab, it has to be a playset. I am so desperate for a massive, like, again, like a tactical battle platform would be perfect, because it wouldn't be so big it's ridiculous, but it would be you could make it a decent size, and you could have things dock in the, like, underneath in a little, like a little dock port sort of thing. It'd be so awesome. um I just want a moray and a tomahawk. I know they would be huge, but I would die happy. Same, both of those. CC Russell. Moray is beautiful, and I would absolutely adore a HasLab version, basically. And the tomahawk, I have been pushing for that for years now. Like, I just think it would be phenomenal. I just think it'd be phenomenal. I don't care how big it is. It would be the most amazing vehicle, and the display, the fit, all the figures that would go in it. You could get obviously lift ticket. You could throw a lifeline in there if he hadn't been out by then. You could just do so many cool things. You could have the ram cycle fit in the back and come out of the back of the tomahawk. You could have sliding doors on the side like the cartoon. If you watch the movie, specifically, it's in a few of the Asumbo episodes. But if you watch the animated film, you may be aware of it, G.I. Joe the movie. There's one point where they're landing in a tomahawk in the Himalayas, and they've shut the side doors are shut on the tomahawk. So you could have a sliding door that closed came across. You could have multiple, like, obviously gun positions and everything on the sides. You have a working winch. The propellers could be they'd be awesome, and you could have them like a button that would spin them around, maybe. All the little detail, the engine details, all the details inside the cockpit, a little doorway through from the cockpit to the next section. You could have lifelines, like you can have like a unit inside, just behind the cockpit, that's unseen, that's like, part of the interior of the tomahawk, that is just for storing weapons, medical supplies, a stretcher that we now have coming in the line thanks to Doc. All that cool stuff would be amazing, wouldn't it? Like, it would be the greatest thing ever. The greatest thing ever. And I want it to happen so bad. And I know because of that, it probably won't. I think they can do a clutch and a vamp. They can make a shark and deep six. Yes, that I agreed. Is this a file card? I've done that one, but it was a Tinder profile, Scott. Robert H says, wow, he's eating cobras. He's a snake eating mofo. That's a great idea. Maybe use a G.I. Joe file card for Tinder. We'll get more dates. You never know, Todd. You could try it. Love Steeler, but then Worlds Without End is my favorite Real American Hero episode. Yes, Scott, one of the best two-parters. It's amazing. And like, it's really funny because, like, I'm not like 1,000% into the sci-fi aspect. I mean, I'm not like all the way. I like it, some of the episodes when they're a bit more grounded, but Worlds Without End is by far one of the greatest pieces of animated art of all time. I absolutely adore that two-parter. I know I might be going overboard, but it's amazing. It's just it's deep, it's powerful, it's got like really good writing. Rest in peace to the writer, Martin. I feel awful now for not remembering his full name. Brilliant. He did a great job as well. I mean, not just those episodes, but he did loads. I can't remember his name. So let me know in the comments, guys. Sorry, I've completely failed there. But he passed away, like, I think last year or 2 years ago. Brilliant writer, amazing son. He did some great Sunbow episodes, including Worlds Without End, and was just the best. Someone blooming search it for me, please. Worlds Without End and There's No Place Like Springfield, says Scott. Yeah, really good episodes. I built handmade a checkpoint alpha and take some mutt pics. Nice one, Soda. If you've got a checkpoint alpha, that's wicked. Like a custom one. My next favorite are the traitor episode, the Dusty ones. Yeah, really good. Um, my next favorite, yeah, I'm attempting to turn that Fortnite boat into a devilfish with polystyrene sheets and leftover model parts I've collected over the years. Yeah, cool. I've seen a few people do the Fortnite boat. It's really, really cool. Um, I'm actually going to search for the writer myself. Actually, Worlds Without End writer. I should probably put GI Joe first, shouldn't I? I'll put GI Joe first because that obviously you get all sorts of stuff that doesn't actually relate to what I'm getting at. Um, this is going to drive me absolutely crazy, isn't it? If I can't find this information, as if the internet is this hard usually at finding things. Martin Pascoe, thank you, me. Martin Pascoe, rest in peace. Like I said, yeah, there you go. But people are coming through now. Well, not after I said it. I know you probably are hearing on a delay or whatever, or getting on a delay. But yeah, Martin Pascoe. Um, really, I can't. Again, it really sucks that he passed away. But like, I'd love to have had like again, it was one of those things. There's a lack of awareness from on my part to not really be paying attention to, who did what when it came to some of my favorite things. And I'm not talking about the my favorite things episode, although that is a banger as well. But like, if I'd have thought about it, I really would have loved to try and get hold of Martin and have a conversation with him about that particular episode and other stuff that he'd done, but really kind of break down that World's Without End episode with him and just talk to him about how he came up with the concept, like how it kind of came about. I think that would have been really cool, and it upsets me that I don't have that opportunity anymore to do that. Yeah, it sucks. Which is why I try and jump at the chance of getting as many kind of interviews with people that have done stuff that I really respect. I was really excited to talk to Alex Russo not too long ago, who worked on a lot of the file cards, a lot of the copy, he was a writer basically for the GI Joe brand for a good chunk of the vintage golden years, and then came back to it in like to the 2000s as well. Um, Thank you, Chris. Don't mention it, Chris. Yeah, that's what I basically did, wasn't it? Todd says I'm dying to know what the next HasLab is. Yeah, I mean we all are, aren't we? Let's face it. I'd buy a classified tomahawk in a heartbeat, says Suka. Same. We should like sign a petition or something, shouldn't we? We still need dial tone and mainframe. Yes, Derek, we do. I've mentioned them about 4 times already in this one episode. Wouldn't be any bigger than the barge. Yeah, that barge is redonkulous. It wouldn't be anywhere near the size of that thing in terms of length anyway. I don't know. The rotors might kind of push it into record distance, but like I think you could get them to fold in if you're, storing it somewhere. Just like the 2030th, whatever year it was, the modern 4-inch version, which is one of my favorite vehicles. That and the Tiger Force version, the Tiger Hawk. I would tell you what, if they did a Tomahawk and then repainted it as a Tiger Hawk, I'd cry. I would absolutely cry with happiness. And I just found an eBay seller who has 1/12 scale water slide decals for the Devilfish. That's cool. Nice. Good work, Justin. The Anderson. The Tomahawk would cost about $1,000 or up. Would it though? I don't know if it would. I really don't think it would. I think it would be more around 600, 5 or 600. I don't think it would be $1,000. Some days you crawl through the rain, some days you feed on a tree frog. I like that. Anyway, yeah, I think I've got to the end of all the comments. That's a surprise. That doesn't usually happen, and I don't usually get to kind of almost every one of them. So if I did miss one of them, I apologize. Anyway, Flint we've been talking about today, and he's a beauty. I love this figure. I'm so excited to have him join the Tiger Force. I'm almost like tempted to do it now. And no, I'm just kidding. I'll stay here for a little bit. Right. Well, kind of. I was going to say let's transition into a Q&A, but we've kind of been doing that anyway, and we're kind of coming to the end of the episode, really. Imagine the size of that Tomahawk. It would be huge if they did a Tomahawk. Okay, if we're talking HasLabs, let's get it out. Tomahawk, I think genuinely, I think they could do it for they could work it out. They could get it into a decent price, right? I think so. A decent price for what it would be anyway. It would be huge. It would be ridiculous. It would be expensive. Of course, it would be. But I think they could do it. Plus, it's a HasLab. I feel like that's what it should. That's what the HasLab should be there for. Like they shouldn't really be there to churn out. Like again, like the his tank was pretty massive. Is pretty massive, but I sort of think it should the HasLab should be things of like complete unbelievable magnitude things. And they sort of are with classified, unfortunately, because like your Dragonfly and your Hiss tank, spot on. They've done really well with their choices so far. The Dragonfly was a real. It was like sort of expected, but at the same time, not like it's a weird. It's in a weird place for me in my brain because I think like I love the Dragonfly. I never thought they'd ever touch it, and then the fact they dropped that as a HasLab, and it just makes sense. The tiers were really good. We got loads of really cool figures out of that as well, like Wild Bill, Night Force Ripcord, Glenda, Night Force Crazy Legs, brilliant stuff. The His tank was dope. Had tons of stuff in it as well. Like it's just amazing. I think the Tomahawk obviously is the next level above that, isn't it? I mean, it's probably a couple of levels above that, but you're not going to get, you're not going to get an HQ. You're not going to get a flag. You're not going to get stupid, silly. You're not going to get a Terradrome. You're going to get your kind of fairly mid to large size vehicles at a put. You're not getting. I even think like personally, I think the Tomahawk is out of the question. Even though I want it to happen so bad and think they could do it, I don't think it's one of those ones where they're like it would just be too big. Um, the whale is probably up there too in that situation. But I think the moray comes into a HasLab conversation. I think the rattler comes into the conversation based on the not only the noises coming out of Hasbro, but the thought process of storage, size, etc., etc. And then you've got like, and then you've just got like a string of vehicles that are just have to be retail. Like they're too small to be HasLabs, which is mental to say, isn't it? But like, your snowcats, your thunder machines, because they've said it. They've literally said it. The thunder machine's not going to be a HasLab. He said it with his own mouth. He said it with his own mouth. And of course, the snowcat and the thunder machine have been like rumored to be coming as well in the line as retail figures vehicles. So that's nuts to me. But like that's where we are now. So all of those kind of mid-size vehicles, you can kind of Ore Striker, Fang. Are there any? There's loads of others, but you'll probably throw them in the comments as well, and I'll just forget that I've got people talking about it as well in the comments. But those kind of vehicles, those are going to be like your retail from now on. All of the different flavors of Vamps, all of the I just think like HasLab, I personally think it should be in the Whale Tomahawk region. That's where we should be looking at things, and it shouldn't be every friggin' year. It should be like not once in a lifetime, but like spread it out a bit and a bit more, like one every other year, maybe, if it's going to be something like that. But you could still be churning out your retail vehicles at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like the Mobat is another one that I think probably will eventually be done. Just the iconography of it, and again, they could do it in a way that made sense size wise. The Rattler is one again I think they could do because it's like one of the smaller planes. The X-30 Conquest I think they could do because it's one of the smaller jets. In fact, oh god, how good would that be? How good would a classified X-30 be with Slipstream in it? Oh, that would be phenomenal. So, okay, if that was a HasLab, I would love them to do like Slipstream, maybe like another pilot sort of homage, maybe like churn around in the foreign kind of like sphere again to kind of like get some sort of kind of similar Glenda vibes. Um, maybe even you could just do like a Pilot Scarlet at that level, like considering we've got it precedent already with the HasLab Sky Striker. You could do, yeah, you could do a Pilot Scarlet. I wouldn't necessarily throw Ace in there, Christopher, unless it was like a repaint, like because I you'd want to keep Ace for a. I know it's men's. I know it's probably a pipe dream, but the Sky Striker for classified, well, it would be ridiculously massive. I mean, it'd be bigger than the Tomahawk, wouldn't it? More than likely. Um, but I don't know if you. I think a Slipstream and the X30 would make sense, but I would probably throw Pilot Scarlet in there in the same design style as her O-ring version from the HasLab, the Sky Striker HasLab, and then maybe your pit crew. Yeah, really kind of go to town on the missed opportunities from the previous things that we've had. Anyway, don't forget the claw. The claw is like a small vehicle. The claw is in the same. I would put the claw in with like Trouble Bubbles, Air Chariot, that kind of vibe. So I definitely see that one. I wouldn't see that. I don't see that as a mid-size, if you know what I mean. Derek, but no, you're right. That definitely retail vehicle. Whale is something I want, says Jeremy. I think whale is everything. I think everyone wants that genuinely. Rattler, four figs. Okay, so Viper Scat says if you're doing a Rattler, Wild Weasel, Air Viper, Ground Crew, Pilot Baroness. What about Raven? Oh no, yeah, actually no, because of the Night Raven, because she flies that, doesn't she? But that would be kind of cool. But again, I think a female pilot might work. So a Wild Weasel and then a female version of that character, but not called Wild Weasel, obviously. Air Viper is a great shout, and the Ground Crew, yeah, the pit Viper, or whatever the hell, ramp rat, yes, definitely. Again, you can kind of like carry over some of those themes from the HasLab 4-inch one, the Sky Striker HasLab. I don't think the price is the issue. Rather, some may be concerned with the size storage. I totally agree, Medic. Totally agree. But that's why I would love it. But I know it's probably not going to happen. I would love to see a Fang at retail. I mean, matter of time now, Scott. I think. I can't wait for the vehicles to start rolling in. Says Bill. Yes, same. Iron Grenadier Demon. That would be huge. It would be great. And if you could definitely do a despoiler, right, as a figure vehicle pack with Destro, and then that connects to the demon. It'd be so good. Yes, White Vegeta. If they made the Snowcat, I would love it to come with lights in its cockpit. Wilfredo, so would I. If it's going to be retail, though, I'm not sure if they would do that. They might do. They might be like, hey, let's just throw it in there to zhuzh up this particular retail vehicle. But it might be one of those things that they could only really do that with a budget for a HasLab. But yeah, I would love it too. The light. I mean, imagine that beautiful. What would you have? Kind of like a blue light, that kind of like nice kind of blue hue on the cockpit style, or would you have that? What would you do? Like a yellow light? What would you have, Wilfredo, for the cockpit light in the Snowcat? Slipstream and Ace, yeah, claws, snakes, asps, yeah, all of those things I would probably count in the kind of small vehicle figure variety. Non-Tiger Force Sky Striker. What's wrong with you, Jeremy? An X19 is a good shout, Carl, because then we could get what's his name to fly it. But yeah, that would be another beauty. And again, probably not as big as a lot of the other jets. Like you could do it probably at an X30 sort of size, couldn't you? I love this line, but I'm good on a HasLab. I hope they skip this year. Don't hate me, people. Ray, I understand. I wouldn't be too upset if they didn't do a HasLab this year, but I know the fandom would blow a gasket if something wasn't revealed for like Yojo June. Could you imagine the hate that would be flying out? Like it's weird. It's like one of this. It's a weird situation, isn't it? Because I think even most people are like, this is ridiculous. I don't have the space for it. It's too expensive. I can hardly afford it, but I'm buying 5 of them when they come out. But it seems to be like that, and I'm with you. Like I'm happy for some breathing space between them, like kind of like Star Wars movies. I like a bit of build up. I like a bit of suspense. I like not having something every 20 minutes. But that's just me. And yeah, in the in the same sense, like I think with HasLabs, quality over quantity. But that's the problem is it's quality and quantity now. Ridiculous. GI Joe in full effect in 2024. Enjoy this time, people. I am 100%. As long as they don't do something they possess us they never do as a HasLab, like the Transformers team doing that Omega Prime. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Robert H. Like there's some that they the Transformers ones like since Unicron, it's hard to like top something like that because I know that there's a lot of issues with the Unicron, the whole the kibble and all that kind of stuff. I know the transformation is an absolute nightmare. I get it, but that was like the reason for HasLab, in my opinion, is to do something ridiculously on that size and scale. And I love my Unicron. It was on display in our apartment, like in the main room of our apartment, with like with an Autobot kind of extreme sets display, orange like arc display, and all the Transformers. It was dope. But I feel like that's what it's designed for. So anything else that kind of comes afterwards, they've done some deep cuts as well, and like that new one they're doing, like it's not for me obviously, but it's pretty cool. But it's more about like for that it kind of reminds me of the Sky Striker HasLab, and they said that it was more a collection than the item itself, more a collection of items. And that's what it feels like with the new Transformers one, like it's like multiple things that combine sort of thing, and not in the kind of classic way that you think about combiners with Transformers. Um, Paul says, Plastic Battles. Paul says, I talked about the Conquest last week on Thursday Night Battles. Go check Paul out on Instagram, please, people. If you probably already do already, but make sure you check out his Thursday Night Battles episodes. They're really cool on Instagram. Yeah, do it. Paul's great. Size-wise makes sense for HasLab, and being an air vehicle also makes sense based on precedent and Lenny's comments. Those particular comments, Paul, let's just mention one clear one, was he said they do look look at the jets because you can display them on the stands at like an angle which minimizes the depth of their storage kind of thing, so you can kind of like tilt them so they're taking up vertical rather than horizontal space. So that is something that he mentioned very very out openly when discussing what would make good HasLabs. Wild Weasel, I like that for the female Wild Weasel. Wild Weezette is another good one, Jeremy. There, I like that. Mild Mary, though, I like that Viper Scout. Probably won't sell it. I like Mild Mary. I like that as a name. Mass Device would be sweet, says Mike. Yes, would be. I agree on that one. Kind of like yeah, big time. Mass Device, Weather Dominator. I think the Mass Device you've got to edge out the Weather Dominator. The Weather Dominator just looks like a giant spike on it looks like a flat cannon, doesn't it? Like a fancy flat cannon. Darklon plus Evader has to happen at some point. Probably. Yeah, that's a good shout. Retail the Weather Dominator, but in 3 pieces. I like that idea, Scott. Maybe you could do it with a like interesting kind of character inclusion in each piece. So like the figure and the piece come out. Maybe they come out at the same time, and you have to buy all 3 sets to create the Weather Dominator, and you get 3 individual character figures as well, which would be really cool too. Or troop builders. Hasbro, just give us a Rattler, Moray, and the Night Raven, and I will be done with the line. Well, that's why they're not going to FC Viper, because then you leave and you never come back. I need the Rattler Sasuke. Sorry, I see what you mean, Jeremy. A non-Tiger Force Sky Striker, the pilot, not the vehicle. I see. I get it, for the alternate for the Conquest pilot. I like that, actually. I do like that as an idea. So he's not the Tiger Force Sky Striker. he is effectively Thunder's head and Wild Weasel's body, but in a different deco, just for like, yeah, just for the I like that idea actually. That's really cool. No HasLab, the line is dead. Indeed, Paul. That would be the screams from the fandom. I would imagine. Seconded Ray. My wallet could use a break from HasLab. Chris needs some foreplay. Yes, I do, Scott. Warm yellow or blue light would look great in the Snowcat. Just wish it came with light. Totally right, Will. I was just thinking about that when you mentioned the Snowcat, and I know I've seen both yellow and blue for the kind of like interior cockpit kind of style. Maybe in like comics as well, like where they've kind of changed it up a little bit. But yeah, I'd love that. Yeah, I think lights would be really nice for the Snowcat. Really nice. I agree with you on that one big time. I wish HasLab would build double sets of sales numbers for future collectors. Build double sets of sales. No, I'm not sure what you're saying there, Chris. Sorry, I might have missed something on that. Suka says, make the Rattler HasLab this year, then do whatever you want after. I just need that bad boy. I'll make room. Big time. I wanted a Powermaster Prime with Apex armor bot and include the ditched Headmaster. Good shout, Carl, actually, for Transformers HasLab. You can also mount the jets on the wall, Suki. Yes, that's true. You can mount jets on the wall and you can hang them from the ceiling too. So in terms of, there's lots of options with jets in terms of storage. What do you think about gridiron props? There are some really cool third-party Joe stuff vendors. I think they're amazing. If I had the means, I'd be getting all classified and then every single thing Gridiron releases. I do a lot of not crossover, but I've been on a couple of shows and vice versa with a Toy Kind of Mood, Travis Moody and the team, and really enjoyed doing those episodes with those guys. Really nice dudes, really good channel as well. Can't say enough good things about them. And they often talk about the gridiron stuff and really get into it. They love it. They get stuff all the time, and it looks great. I really want to get the workout, like the barbells and the weight bench and everything. I really like that set. And yeah, but again, it's really for me. It's just I have to cut down really. But in terms of gridiron props, fire, absolute fire. When it comes to that design, I one day want the yellow female version of that Prime and her Magnus, but redoing the originals as a HasLab is just bad for people who want a modern robots in disguise cast. I agree. Again, I'm not like totally 100% in on it anyway, but like I know that has been the kind of general consensus for a lot of people. Maybe they can include Marvel original characters with mass device. Interesting. I like that idea. If they do make HasLab every other year, maybe they can make 1 year a fan vote. Todd, I like that. They've done a lot of that. They've done a lot of fan votes over the years. I'm waiting for the next one for classified. I'm going to mount my hiss on the wall, says Jeremy. Oh, sorry. I see, Chris. If HasLab sells at 20,000, make 30,000. I know people would love a hiss tank, but $500 not going to draw in new people. I see what you're saying, mate. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I've got a feeling I have a feeling we'll see the hiss again at some point. I don't know anything there. It's just a feeling I have. I think we'll see the hiss at some point again, maybe stripped down, maybe at kind of like a retail kind of scenario, and definitely at a lower price point for sure. But yeah, like I suppose like on one hand, I'm thinking, do they like it's quite a successful brand at the moment. They're doing really well. They're making some really good decisions. I wonder if like, yes, obviously you always want to be bringing in new people. You always want to strengthen the brand and make it bigger, etc., etc. I feel like Classified has kind of done that. Do you know what I mean? I feel like they've brought in a huge new audience. There are loads of people into Classified figures now, whether they are into it because of the figures or if they're into it because of the success or the popularity of it. Doesn't matter. It's just nice that a lot of people are talking about it. I know, like even Pixel Dan is getting into GI Joe a little bit more now, and he is like hardcore Master of the Universe and all the other stuff. Shout out to Pixel Dan as well. Love his channel. But yeah, like it's great to see like loads of people. I'm not saying he's new to the brand by any means. He's not. But like in terms of like doing more GI Joe kind of stuff, he seems to be kind of collecting more of it. And he said it out he said it on Twitter and on his socials as well. Like, so yeah, that's why I mentioned him specifically. But yeah, it seems to, I mean, the audience for G.I. Joe has grown exponentially thanks to the classified series. It really has. Gridiron makes a great product. It's just cost prohibitive for most. Yeah, I'm not saying it should be cheaper either, though. I think it is what it is. But it's not again, it's not from a quality perspective. They do amazing things. I'm a bit behind. Oh, chances the Sting will be announced this year, says FC Viper. Not a clue. If I was a betting man, with the Vamp having sort of last year vibes, I don't know, pretty high. I'd say that quite likely we might get a Stinger announcement at some point. I'm a bit behind catching up, but I want to randomly say more Ray Snowcap. Thanks, Blitz. They might strip the electronics. Yes, that's what I mean. Like, really basic the hell out of it and repaint it with like a Blue Hiss with Rip It is a good shout, Jeremy. Arctic Hiss with an Arctic Driver would be a chef's kiss. Python Patrol one, just to kind of get that out of the way, considering it was on Duke's Ram art, Tiger Force Duke and the Ram. Okay. Yeah, to get it down in price, no electronics, not as many accessories. In fact, just strip everything down, make it a retro Hiss tank with none of the bells and whistles, one figure, no electronics. I think you can do it. Septic tank with cesspool, yes, please. Water cannon as well, Viper Scout, yes. Dan and his Ninja Force love makes me happy. Yeah, exactly. Again, like he's he cosplayed as Zartan, didn't he? Ninja Force Zartan, love it. I double the cesspool, I triple the cesspool, and I'm imagining we'll get some quadruples for that as well. I really want them to put out more Ninja Force just for Pixel Dan. Same. We need a Hiss release without the lights and only driver, maybe for retail. Yes, definitely. I feel like the Tiger Sting will happen before the Stinger. I think it's, again, pick one, really, isn't it? Which one? Yeah, I think we'll get both. I just don't know. Yeah, like you say, which one's first. Anyway, right, guys, I better bring it to a close there. I've waffled on far too long. It's bedtime now. Thank you for joining me for this HasLab come Flint unboxing. It wasn't a HasLab unboxing. It was just a HasLab. It turned into a HasLab chat in the end. But I always like how these episodes kind of evolve. We obviously do the unboxing. I go on loads of tangents because I can't keep anything straight in my brain for longer than 5 seconds, and then we get into some talks, don't we? But anyway, it's been great. I will be back. No, actually, tomorrow I'm doing the Intel, so that'll just be for our patrons. So if you guys have, if you're a patron to our channel, either on the SAS Force or Red Shadow Army, then I'll be doing a live tomorrow. I will send out the information for time and all that kind of jazz tomorrow. We won't be doing, again, I know the weekly is going to be moved to Saturday again. Apologies. I will speak to Pat about it. We'll see if he can do Saturday morning. We will go from there. But it won't be tomorrow, so just a heads up on that. And I'll put the information out as well on our socials, just for any other stragglers that are expecting it. So anyway, thanks very much for joining me and Flint for this unboxing of Flint. It's a bit flinty around here. I'll see you on the next one. We've got loads to come. It might be 8 a.m. Ray. It might be 10. It depends what Pat and I work out for Saturday morning. But we'll let you know. Don't you worry. See you soon. If you're patrons, I'll see you tomorrow. If you're regs, if you're normsies, I'll see you probably Saturday. But have a great rest of your night. Stay fresh, cheese bags. And as always, after 3, I'm going to change it a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Full Tiger Force. That'll do. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, Full Force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on X, formerly Twitter, @The Full Force, liking the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Full Force. We've also added a brand new Instagram, so check us out there as well, @The Full Force Podcast, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.